Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down our next matchup for UFC 321. In this matchup, we have Jose Delgado taking on Nathaniel Wood. Delgado is 10-1 as a professional, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Meanwhile, Wood is 21-6 as a professional, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Looking at Delgado, he is such a prospect to watch at 145 pounds. All of his wins are via finish, majority of them in the first round. He's very rarely seen the second round. He's only ever seen the third round once. That was in his only loss in his career, which he lost via decision, which was the fourth fight on his pro career. But besides that, as I said, finished every other opponent that they put in front of him. Currently 2-0 in the UFC, beating Conor Matthews via TKO, and then most recently at UFC 317, KO'd Hyder Emil and giving Emil the first loss of his career. Meanwhile, looking at Nathaniel Wood, he is, like I said, 4-0 in his last 5 fights. 2 of those were decision wins to Andre Fili and Charles Jourdain. His last loss was at UFC 294, which was October 2023, when he lost to Mohamed Naimov, which I'm going to leave it out there right now. I thought Mohamed Naimov cheated his ass off in that fight, and I thought should have had a point deducted or DQ'd, if I'm being honest. I thought he should have lost that fight. But is what it is. Can't dispute it. Just got to move on. But now, recently, Wood is on a 2-fight win streak, beating Daniel Pineda via decision, and then most recently defeating Morgan Charrier via decision this March at UFC London. This is such a great fight. Such a great fight. I've honestly been back and forth if this is my fight of the night, like the best fight on this card, or at my sleeper of the card, because I'm kind of torn between this and 2 other fights on the prelims as my fight of the night. But man, this is easily the sleeper of the night. I'm telling you now, if you're looking over this fight dome, this could be the best fight on this card. I'm not even kidding. Jose Delgado, like I said, a great prospect, finished all of his opponents, all of his wins are by finish. Just a beast in the octagon. While Nathaniel Wood, a proven fighter at the UFC level, has a lot of wins, has a lot of high-level experience. It's kind of interesting, too. Wood is a former bantamweight, and when he decided to move up to featherweight, it was kind of a surprise and a little worrisome, as he's going to give up a lot of height and reach to his opponents, being 5'6" with a 69-inch reach at featherweight. Kind of a disadvantage for a lot of these bigger guys. But you know what? Nathaniel Wood has been able to make it work and has proven to be a consistent winner in the featherweight division. And a tough out for just about everybody. Now, looking at these two, I'd say it's more so a proven finisher and someone with great killer instincts with Jose Delgado versus a technician in Nathaniel Wood, someone who's able to blend all of the mixed martial arts very well. He can strike, he can grapple, and he can wrestle at a very elite level. Now, looking more so at Jose Delgado, he's got great precision in his striking and is very pressure forward and just ferocious. Specifically, you look at the combo he hit Hyder Emil with. If he landed a cross hook and then fired up a knee up the middle perfectly. Perfect timing, perfect elevation, leverage, and just chef kicks the perfect Muay Thai knee and just crashed into the chin of Hyder Emil. Absolutely textbook. And then you saw with Conor Matthews when he landed the overhand right just flawlessly on the temple. Went for the uppercut and then finished off with ground and pound. Now, I will say Jose Delgado is also a very well-rounded finisher. He has submissions on his record. And he's proven to have good back takes. Specifically, his rear naked choke is very good. But once he's in mount, it's either curtains for his opponents because they ain't getting him off him. They ain't getting him off them. And his ground and pound is vicious, or the round ends. But either way, you have Jose Delgado in mount, it might be curtains for you. That's what I can say for absolute certainty. Meanwhile, Nathaniel Wood, not so much a finisher. He got some finishes at bantamweight with his submission skills, but he's mostly, like I said, a technician. That being said, he has some of the most beautiful boxing I think I've seen in the featherweight division. His ability to move in to short range, fire off a jab cross hook from in close, back off, and then wait for his opponents to fire something back and then counter with, say, a cross or a hook. It's so technical and so proficient. And while I'm saying Wood isn't a finisher, I mean, his last 4 wins are decisions, doesn't mean he doesn't have power. Doesn't mean he doesn't hurt his opponent. He hurt Daniel Pineda multiple times throughout their fight at UFC 304. I mean, he rocked Andre Philly in their fight. He's got some power. I will say when it comes to the finish, though, Wood does make some bad decisions. Now, I think overall he's got good fight IQ, actually great fight IQ, and he's able to make split-second decisions, things that really help him in fights, and also just game plan very well. But when it comes to the finish, like, for example, the Daniel Pineda fight, you could see clearly that he hurts Pineda multiple times, but instead of letting Pineda come up and finish him with strikes, he instead follows Pineda to the ground. Now, this doesn't cost him in the fight, and he did win 30-27 or like 30-26, but it does show that there is some concern with that, namely in fighting, say, a proven finisher in Jose Delgado, who's got great killer's instinct. It does leave a bit of worrisome in what possibly Nathaniel Wood could do in the fight. Now, of course, this is all what ifs, and we only really know once these two clash in the cage. But it is something to keep in mind. That being said, I think Wood has fought a lot of opponents similar to Delgado. Tall, big for the division, good reach, knows how to use it. More specifically, athletic featherweights who have great killer's instinct. I think Morgan Charriere is the best example of this. As when they were matched up, it was like this explosive featherweight, a whip-like kicks, dangerous punching, and just power in all 8 limbs. And Wood outclassed Charriere, hurt him multiple times in their fight, was able to mix in his striking and wrestling seamlessly. Just the ability to mix the martial arts and keeps his opponent guessing is probably Wood's best asset in fights. The ability to be not unpredictable. It's not the ability to be unpredictable, like, say, Yuri Prochazka and all of his weird movements. It's more so the ability to keep your opponent guessing. Because Wood's so good at the striking that he can hurt his opponents that they have to respect it, and that leaves open for takedowns. Or his wrestling grappling so good, it could leave his opponents so weary of it, it leaves them opening to strikes. His ability to blend the mixed martial arts and then force his opponent to make mistakes is Nathaniel Wood's best asset, and especially in this fight. I gotta say, looking at these odds, I don't really understand them if I'm being 100% honest with you folks. Minus 142 for Delgado, plus 122 for Wood. I don't agree with them. Now, I understand why, like, Delgado would be a slight favorite. He is a proven finisher, and he's very dangerous. But Wood has been in there with some of the most elite featherweights on the roster, or at least unranked featherweights on the roster. And he's able to put in 15 minutes of solid work from beginning to end. Delgado's only ever been out of the second round once. He's very rarely been in the second round, period. I feel like this is a fight where experience is going to trump youth and momentum. As while I think Delgado is a great prospect, and I do expect him to fight for a ranking sometime in the near future, like give it 1 or 2 years. I think this might be, I wouldn't say too much too soon, because this is the right type of fight to make. He won in a battle of prospects against Hyder and Mill, and now he's fighting a proven contender, or a proven fighter who's not yet reached the rankings in Wood. This is the right type of fight to make and see just how good Delgado is right now, or could be. But I just think this is too much too soon right now. And I think Nathaniel Wood's experience in 3-round fights, experience in going to the later rounds, or more specifically, like having to push a pace in the 3rd round, and his ability to fight and his experience in fighting such high-level opposition, I truly believe, I think the experience Wood had is what's going to be the deciding X factor in this fight. Now, I think Jose Delgado can hurt Nathaniel Wood. I think he's going to give Wood more problems than Charrier did because Jose Delgado's got a better grappling game than Charrier. But overall, I just think the experience is what's going to be the deciding X factor. So my official prediction, I'm going to pick Nathaniel Wood. And I'm going to pick him via unanimous decision. Now, I can see it also being a close split decision where both of these two hurt each other or multiple times in the fight, and it really just comes down to who has the bigger moments and make those bigger moments last in the duration of the 5 minutes in each round. This is a close fight. This is a great fight. Absolutely great fight. But but like I said, I'm going to lean towards the experience edge. I'm going to pick Nathaniel Wood being a unanimous decision. But with that being said, that's been my breakdown of this fight. If you liked the video, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this matchup. Do you think this is the best fight on the card? If so, tell me why. If you think there's another fight, please leave a comment on that. I'd love to hear it. And overall, what do you think of this matchup? Do you think Wood can prevail, or do you think Delgado is the real deal? But next up, we will have Walter Walker taking on Luis Sutherland. But until then, I have been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. Take care.